Nerderotic.com.
This is Chris. You put it best. How did you describe this, Chris?
How did I describe the
Golem?
Looks fucking pathetic.
It's embarrassing.
Pathetic. It's embarrassing. I'm more of a fan of, can you make the movie and then after the movie comes to DVD, tell us how you made it? This makes me so unexcited. First of all, I don't care about the story for The Hunt for Gollum because I already know what happens because I saw Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
We don't need this story. I mean, it's like, Moana came out, bombed, and most people were asking, rightly so, the question, why did you make a live action Moana? There was effectively animation. And I just don't want to see any BTS until I've seen the movie. This is not a good representation. Show me a still, show me Gollum talking, show me some tease, but I don't want to see Andy Serkis in fucking leotards covered in balls.
So we have two movies coming out that are essentially chapters that were not, or things and elements that were from certain chapters that were not filmed in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. So this isn't an adaptation of the book per se. This is stuff that needs to fit in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. So it will be radically changed. And I don't know how you're fucking supposed to watch this. So you watch the start of Fellowship, and then there's a timestamp that they're going to throw up for us to go into this new adventure with new actors or de-aged with AI actors, which is hilarious to me. And it's The Shadow of the Past, which is one, if not the first chapter wrote for Lord of the Rings. It's one of the earliest chapters written for Lord of the Rings. Council of Elrond and some of the appendices. That's it. And it's a hunt for Gollum. They're adding a character or two already, and we'll see where they go. It's not directed by Peter Jackson. It is produced by Peter Jackson. It is directed by Andy Serkis, who did one of the Venom movies. Yeah, he did Venom and Carnage, right? Not the last one.
I don't know.
He did Venom, Carnage, whatever the fuck it was. I completely forgot it. And Animal Farm.
Can I tell you what I think this is? This is LOTR DLC.
Yeah,
that's all it is. It's a new level from LOTR you didn't get to play and or see, and I don't care. We already have.
Before we get into this,
yeah,
Peter Jackson has talked about getting rights to the Silmarillion, which the Tolkien estate, who I've had my criticisms of, has absolutely refused to have made, because that was, I'm guessing, the last wish of one of the greatest sons who ever lived. Christopher Tolkien said, never let them touch this for a movie, because it's unfinished work from his father that Christopher edited and published, but it would be a fire and blood situation. You don't have a lot of dialogue. It's just a recounting of history. And it would be ripe for fucking Hollywood to fuck it up. But that being said, there's far more interesting stories in it. Like some metal as fuck stories. Like that would be great if we lived in a different timeline that didn't get sucked through a micro black hole into the retardiverse from CERN, and somebody competent making it. So he's trying to get those rights, and I think he gets them. I think he eventually gets them, but I think it all depends on this. Oh, and the Stephen Colbert movie.
Oh, God.
Again, another subversive hire who has no fucking experience at all in writing movies, but Hollywood sees him as silenced by the Trump administration. So Peter Jackson's going to hire him as a fuck you, especially to a lot of the Tolkien fandom. And if you don't think that's the motivation or part of the motivation behind it, I would say there's a lot of videos, there's a lot of news, there's a lot of evidence out there that will pretty much prove it, that is the motivation behind a lot of Hollywood. Spite, pure spite, which is a great creative decision, as we all know.
Well, there's another video I found, you probably already know about it, where Andy Serkis talks about checking boxes.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah.
fully contradicting what he said with Animal Farm. So, like, he says one stupid Andy Serkis, card-carrying member of the Socialist Party, by the way.
I really think that the people that are speaking loudly that they're not compromised, or in the case of Nolan, we just assume because of his past work, he's not compromised.
Well,
when you live here, I kind of feel like if you're in that system around it, just by osmosis, you're just, this is how we end up with the Odyssey being what it is.
Well, and this needs to fit into Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. So if there's a bunch of diversity, you're going to go, what happened?
Yeah.
Did Gollum murder all the diverse elves?
Here we go, onto the mocap stage for day one.
Directors on set, let's stand by, please, everybody.
Thanks, Bruno. Right. Well, now then, what are we going to start with?
Scene one, the beginning.
It's a very good place to start. Who's up?
You are.
Well, it makes things very easy.
Yeah.
Okay, here we
All
go.
right, let's go. All right, thank you, everyone. Standing by to shoot.
Very exciting.
And roll camera.
And action.
Oh, look, a set in New Zealand, which Rings of Power abandoned, by the way. So there is parts of this. I love the motivation, which is spite, behind the studio making Lord of the Rings while Amazon is fucking it up with Rings of Power, but this is fucking it up too. And even worse, you're fucking up the greatest trilogy ever made by trying to insert a story into it. And this is something Peter Jackson, even while he was making The Hobbit, would not even consider, but he's considering it now. And it's because of very large piles of money. This is ill-advised. I don't understand it. If you're going to do anything, adapt to Silmarillion. I don't think Peter Jackson is the Peter Jackson of old. I don't hate the Hobbit trilogy as much as a lot of people do. It is bloated. It's got unnecessary scenes. It's got some stupid shit in it, but it's also got some pretty awesome stuff. Let's be real. But this is just, we need franchise. We need to find a way to expand franchise. So we're doing a midquel, an intraquel. It's one of those two. It might be both.
It's DLC.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. It's DLC. It's a side quest, and one where there are no stakes. There are no stakes because we already know. That's why this lesson, like when George Lucas set out with the story for Empire Strikes Back, he knew the audience would never be convinced that Luke would be in peril. Like in the lightsaber duel with Darth Vader and Luke at the end of Empire, they're not going to kill Luke. He's the lead character. You need to make the stakes about something else that could happen. The audience would believe that Luke could potentially be swayed to the dark side. That's what the stakes were, not whether Luke could die or anything. And he amped up the stakes, right? So what are the stakes? He made it a
completely different film. I remember seeing that trailer for the first time and being utterly blown away. Like, what are they doing? Like, it's a completely different situation. And our heroes look like they were getting their asses kicked, which is the whole film. This, you're right. We know what happens.
No stakes.
No. And they're going to show Sauron.
Well, you know that, the best motivation to tell a story is money. Well, and always. I say that, I say that with a wink and a nod because we know that's not true. And I feel like when Peter Jackson set out to make the first, make the Lord of the Rings, it was more than money for him. We all know that. And it was almost magical, I mean, not just the movies, the behind the scenes of the movies and the camaraderie and like, you've seen all the BTS, right? But the way that the cast like bonded, it's like they're forever bonded. That moment cannot be repeated.
No.
But can you milk it to make more money? Well, the answer is You're seeing it now, and the answer is yes.
Yeah, we're a long way from this, Peter Jackson.
Did you have some kind of mechanism, in a sense, so that you could make sure that you were true to Tolkien? Well, we didn't want to put any of our own, certainly in terms of the thematic material, we didn't want to put any of our own baggage. I mean, we had no interest in putting our messages into this movie, but we thought that we should honor Tolkien by putting his messages into it. And we thought he cared about things. The countryside and the rise of evil, and he cared passionately about certain issues. And we thought what we should do to honor him is to make sure that what he cared about ends up in the movie. That's what we tried to do.
Yeah, a lot of people
Not here.
hear that. Yeah, a lot of people should hear that.
Not here. Oh God, I was just hoping this would never get off the ground. I was hoping it's a rumor. It's not. Oh, now it's actually being filmed and happening and coming out next year. Of course, I'll be there. Of course, we're going to watch it. But Jesus.
Yeah. To quote a Nolan film, you live long enough. What is it? You die a hero, live long enough
to become the villain.
And it's like, when you look at Feige could have stopped after Endgame and said, I'm retiring. That's it. Marvel's going to be on hiatus for 5 years. Maybe we'll come back with some X-Men or FF movies, or that's what they should have done, is just dropped everything, just told other stories in the Marvel universe. There doesn't have to be some consistency between everything. I mean, Peter Jackson could have mic dropped, I'm done with Lord of the Rings. That's it. I mean, I think a part of him is looking at other people are going to screw it up. I mean, could they remake it, Gary? Lord of the Rings?
Oh, they will eventually. Yes.
You think so?
Yes, of course.
Black Aragorn. I can't wait.
You know it. You absolutely know it.
God.
I don't know if it'll be soon, but yes, they will absolutely remake it. Maybe they remake it into a series. Who knows? But there are no limits to the creative bankruptcy of Hollywood. And we're seeing Toy Story 5 and constant remakes of animated films that are just soulless, and they're horrible. So once we get past talked about it, once you get past woke slop, we just get slop. And then when something semi-original comes out that people like, that costs $750,000 to make, it's a hit, and they're going to learn all the wrong lessons. As a matter of fact, Robert talked about it last night. The director from Obsession is doing Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Why?
That's what I said. Why?
Robert went into it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not fun. There's nothing fun about that series or about that quote unquote franchise. And I think he compared it. We talked about this earlier on a previous stream. Nightmare on Elm Street is fun. It's horror, but it's fun. You're not going to get anything fun out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What do you got here, X-Ray Girl?
This is the thing about the diversity in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Tolkien himself was influenced a lot by Norse mythology. There's a lot of kind of that feeling. The Shire feels very, very much like a very white. They're not very concerned about what goes on beyond the borders of the Shire, but they know they don't want people coming in. Yes, there have been criticisms. This particular film is somewhat acknowledging that. I don't think we're doing we will be doing a politically correct, somehow just casting for the sake of casting and ticking boxes version of the film. So it's where relevant, basically.
Man, he was walking on eggshells with that, wasn't he? When you could just come out and go, Tolkien wrote this as English mythology.
Yeah.
End of. That's it. I don't have to say anything other than that. That's what he wanted it. And the Shire is a English town filled with a bunch of Englishmen, and everybody considers it heaven. When anybody asks what fantasy place would you want to live, it's the Shire. There's no other answer. Yeah, the elves' neighborhoods are nice, but a little boring. The Shire got a pub, for all you weed smokers. It's got people smoking weed, nice yards, women with hairy feet, sure, but you can get over that.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.